live in 5 seconds. 4.
Okay,
3,
guys, just
2,
about to go live.
1.
Good morning.
Blog Talk Radio. Hi, welcome to Soulspaceradio. To honour and protect the well-being of all, please find the following disclaimer. All rights reserved. No part of this broadcast may be reproduced or transmitted in any form or by any electronic or mechanical means without the presenter's written permission. The presenters do not dispense medical advice or prescribe the use of any technique as a form of treatment for physical, emotional or medical problems. The intent of the presenters is to only offer information of a general nature to help you in your quest for emotional and spiritual well-being. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning to our Australian viewers, and good evening to our audience in America and globally. So thank you for joining Soul Space Radio today. It's going to be a riveting show. We've got lots and lots of people waiting for calls, but do you know what? Before we start this morning, what I'd like to do, if everyone could bear with me, and I know that some people have been waiting for some time, but this will help relax us all. So if everybody could just with me get themselves into a really relaxed position, sitting down, and take 3 deep breaths from the top of your crown chakra. Just see white light coming from Source, God, or whatever you like to refer all it is. So white light coming from Source into the top of your head and out through your heart chakra. And on the 3rd breath, when it comes out through your heart chakra, I want you to expand it out into the universe. So this is a really fun, relaxing, great way to start. So let's get into Source out of our head and into our heart. Well, in fact, they both work together, but let's become more heart-centric because we tend to live in the intellect. So here we go. First breath, bright white light coming down. Breathe it out through your heart chakra. And 2. In, top of the head. Oh my goodness, that feels beautiful. And out through your heart chakra. 3. Down, in from the top of your head. And out through your heart chakra. And then expand it, expand it, expand it, expand it, expand it, till there's nothing but love, light, and you are connected with the universe. Okay, so here we go. So the first caller is ending in 6979. So here we go. Morning, welcome to Soul Space Radio. You're speaking with Shay. Who am I speaking with?
Hi Shay, this is Donna. How are you?
Good, thanks. Donna, how are you?
Good, thanks. Just having a relaxing day.
Beautiful. That's nice. It's Sunday, isn't it? Sunday in the States?
Yeah, Sunday.
Beautiful. I recognize your voice, Donna. I've spoken to you before, haven't I?
Yeah, it's been a while, yeah.
Okay. And so how can I help, Donna?
Well, I wanted to know if my finances would be getting better. I collect Social Security, but it's just, barely enough to live on after I pay the bills and all, and I'd like a windfall to come in somehow so that I could go traveling with my sister.
Beautiful. And where would you go? Where would you like to go?
I think we'd like to go to, I've been there, but she's never been, and I'd like to take her all throughout Italy and Spain and Portugal and Morocco.
Oh, beautiful. I'd like to come on that trip too. That sounds magical. Well, that's great, Donna. So from a practical perspective, you've got a really clear intention of what you'd like to do. And you can energize that intention even further by seeing yourself embodied in it. So visualizing yourself going to bed in a hotel in Italy with your sister next to you, in a twin room or whatever, or eating out with your sister. So sometimes we don't necessarily have to focus on the money. We can just energize that by focusing on having the feeling of being on holiday now. And then what happens is that everything that needs, including money, will come to us to effectively manifest that happening. So there's, so that's one way. The second thing is money is an interesting thing. So Donna, what is your perception of money? What's your relationship with money? Do you like it? Don't you like it?
Yeah, I like money, but I spend it very quickly.
Okay.
I never save any money, not even $1.
Okay. And why do you think you do that? Is it just it doesn't, you just like spending money? You don't you're not encouraged to save it? Or is there, I'm trying to ascertain if there's any limiting beliefs behind that.
Well, I had 2 dreams with my mother, who's on the other side, and 2 different nights, and we're celebrating with such joy and happiness. I never experienced so much happiness.
Wow.
And I just think that I'm going to win something. So I play the lottery and I play the scratch-off tickets, and that takes all my money.
Okay, I see.
But I still think I'm going to win.
Well, you see that you've got a belief there, and when you, you've got a belief there, and some people might discount that as illogical, but it's a feeling, isn't it? So you feel like you're going to win. It's a feeling based. Yes. Okay. So that's really your intuitive side. So yes, if you feel that way, you stay true to that, because you will feel, if you feel that you're going to win something, it's a feelings universe. And if you feel that that's going to happen, it will happen. Sometimes when we feel something, we have to be a little bit careful that we don't create resistance to it. Because if we feel like it's happening but it's not here yet, we can get into that mentality, but where is it that it's not here? And so ironically we get into a bit of a lack sort of mentality. So the thing is to feel like you have the money now. So, what would you do with that money? Put yourself in positions, and the holiday was an excellent example, and you embody yourself in the visualization of what you would do with that money now, and you would just revel in the feelings of that and use your senses within your visualizations. So embody it, get in it, and use your senses. So let's just say that you're in an Italian restaurant with your sister. So you would imagine the beautiful, the ornate Italian design that they have in the chandeliers, or whatever sort of, if you go to a top-notch restaurant, and you might imagine what the food tastes like. So you might have some pasta, and you can actually eat it, and you can smell it, and you can really bring your imagination alive. Now that actually creates, it's a creative tool, and it actually energizes that form, and that form then comes to you. So the money and everything else will come. I know that the Social Security is probably similar to the pension in Australia, and it's not a lot of money, and you can't, it's barely enough to live, like you say. So I'm assuming that when you're playing lottery, and it's only with a tiny bit of discretionary income, so it's not like you're being foolhardy and taking hundreds of dollars and gambling with it. I'm assuming that's the case, Donna?
Right.
Yeah, okay, because I just wanted to clarify that, because if you feel something, it will happen, but you don't need to put millions of dollars towards it. I just wanted to clarify that for some listeners who might be like, okay, well then do you go and spend all your wages on, if you feel like you're going to win? Well, no, we're not advocating just out and out gambling here, but we're advocating obviously sensible advice. So that's some really practical ways of it. But I tell you what's really, because this is money is one of the financial triggers for us, because in this society, wrongly, we advocate our value. We associate our value as human beings with money. And really money is an exchange. It's an exchange for services that we give, and it's an energy format of an exchange system. But what happens is some people in our society become confused, and the relationship is that they value themselves in $1, and as opposed to, like, as a human being, they see themselves as being, you know, worth a certain amount of money, and it's really difficult in our society to separate your value from the monetary system. So it's really important to do that, because you are bigger than the picture and you're more than just any one thing. So money is just one thing, but you're much bigger than that. So, because you're a soul being, effectively. So I just wanted to state that as well. But let's have a bit of fun, because this is going to resonate with so many different people. And, you know, money is often a challenge for me myself. So I think we all have different trigger points. For some people it's relationships, for some people it's money. And it's really, I think, just about, you know, constantly coming back to source. It's kind of like a trigger point to remind you to come back to connection and co-create. So what we'll do, Donna, is we've already done I'm hoping that you did the 3 deep breaths with me at the beginning of the show, and I know you're in a nice relaxed state. So what I might do is if you don't mind, I'd like to get you to close your eyes and imagine yourself in your favorite place, a really lovely place. It could be anywhere. And then just let me know when you're in your favorite place and when you're really nicely relaxed in it.
Okay.
Okay, and now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to imagine that there's a door. There's a door in this place, and you're going to open the door and step through into a beautiful glowing white, a room with just glowing white love light, just divine light. So if you'd like to go through the door, I'll come with you. We'll go into the door and we'll close the door behind us. And we're just flooded with this beautiful, lovely love light. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually fall backwards from this space. The floor will open up automatically for us, and we're going to fall backwards from this space, and I'm going to count back from 20. And as we fall, Donna, I just want everything to fall off you. So I mean all of the limiting beliefs and the worries and day-to-day concern, I just want it to all drift away from you, and you can see it as golden rings just all drifting away from you as we fall backwards. So ready? Here we go. So the floor's open and off we go. So 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and now we're just in a dimension. It's not a room, it's just full of bright white divine light. And we can't tell any edges, so we're just suspended in this space. And it feels like we're on the ground. And in this space, I would like you to go into the future in 6 months into the future. And have you got a feeling that there's a value that you will earn? Like, do you, in terms of winning, do you have an amount that you think that you feel that you would win?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay, let's just
I
call
want to be able to help my family and.
cool. Okay, let's just call it a lot of money. Okay, that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to step into your favorite place again, into the future. And we're in this beautiful divine white light place. And we'll step into the future right now, and we're in 6 months in the future. Okay? Now, you've won a huge amount of money. Okay? And I want you to feel like you have that money now, like you have won a massive amount of money. So just let that feeling sink into every cell in your body. And tell me when you're full with that feeling.
Yes.
Okay. And now, Donna, just without revealing too much on radio, but just talk to me about what you're doing with that money. So you've won the money, and then you've got the money in your bank account, and now what do you intend to do with that money?
Well, I bought a home in Montecito, which is a lovely area, has a lovely pool and a nice yard, and it has a guest house. And I'm going to let her husband and her 2 kids live in the main house. And I'm living in the guest house, which is perfect for me because I see them on a daily basis, and they're happy now, and it's just wonderful. And I go on trips. I go to Thailand, I go to Africa safari. Sometimes my nieces and nephews go with me, and it's just wonderful. And I have a private trainer to keep my body. I eat nice food. I have someone that makes the food for me, and very healthy, vegan, organic food. And yeah, it's just wonderful. I'm just so happy that I brought my family together, and I've been able to help all of them. I meet them at a beautiful Four Seasons hotel, and I give them all money. I invite them for 2 nights at the hotel, and that's where I present them each with a check that they can have some money as well. And that's what I see.
Wow. And how do you feel now, Donna?
I feel an accomplishment. Like, I had the dreams, and it's something I've known for a long time. I just don't know when, and it happened, and yeah, I feel like, well, this was meant to be, and I'm so happy that I can share it with my family and friends, and it's just wonderful. I don't have to scrape with money the way that I used to. Now I have plenty of money, and I have a good accountant too, so that it's not all dwindled away. Okay, Donna. So come back. I'd like you to. You're in a beautiful space, so I'd like you to just feel all that money again. You have all that money. Just feel that. Well, it's kind of quite a light feeling, I think. Just feel. You have no worries. You have all of that money. And tell me when you're full of that feeling again. Tell you with what?
When you're full of that feeling again. When that feeling is in every.
Oh, okay. Yes, I feel it. Yes.
Fantastic. Okay. So I want you to remember that feeling, and every night when you go to sleep, I want you to feel that feeling and then imagine being at the Four Seasons and giving your family those checks. That's a beautiful visualization.
Yeah.
So let's come out of this space, and we'll come out, and so we'll just fly up, and I'll count from 20 backwards, and we'll get back to that room, out the door, and out into your favorite place. So here we go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, open the door and back into your favorite place, and you've still got all those beautiful feelings. And then you can open your eyes and you can come back to today. So now I mean, I know that you knew what the feeling was before, but now you've really embodied that feeling. And you can remember that every night. And you've talked about, like, your conscious, I don't know if you're aware, Donna, but when you're in that state, I could almost feel you. You kind of vibrated like a light bulb. Your whole consciousness just went, boom. It was so expansive because you were focusing on what you wanted. And I could feel the love. It was palatable. So your consciousness expanded hugely in that space. So do that all the time because it has to create. So remember that feeling, embody that at night. You can do it, on a regular basis, and it will happen because I could feel before we have form on this plane, we have consciousness on the 4th and 5th dimension. So we have to have the consciousness before we have form. So, you're actually energizing that. You're energizing those feelings which are helping create that form. So beautiful. I just felt you absolutely explode in that space. It was just phenomenal because you are expanding forward.
I felt such elation. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it's really cool. And that is when you think quite differently when you have it already, because you're not in a state of resistance. So keep doing it. I know it will come to you. I'm looking forward to hearing all about your fantastic success coming forward. And just keep knowing in yourself, have faith. If you feel it, it's yours. Have faith.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, I like that. Oh, so wonderful. That was beautiful.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Shay. That was wonderful.
No problem, Donna. I'm so glad that I had that experience with you because that will resonate so much with so many different people, because we all want to have money. We all want to have beautiful things, and neither should that ever be wrong. This misconception that having money or wanting and desiring wealth is not spiritual is just not true. It's just not true. We are to have, absolutely, our, Source and God are divine love. They want us to experience everything. The energy when it communicates with me is like, people should have what they desire now. And that's a full experience in terms of expanding, into all areas. So money is an accelerator of our experiences. So it's got to be a positive thing. So I really appreciate your call, Donna. And I'm so glad to have had this experience with you.
Oh, me too, Shay. I feel wonderful. I just feel excited and joyful, and yes, and it's like it's my reality, and I'm just waiting now for when it's going to happen. And
It is.
I feel very excited about it.
Yeah, it is your reality, and just remember that feeling, and nobody can take that away from you, Donna. Nobody can take that away from you. That's you co-creating with Source. When you do it with feeling, you bring in the heart and the soul. Yeah. Beautiful. Loving your joy. Rejoicing in your happiness.
Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you so much, Donna. You have a lovely day. A lovely evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shay. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thank you. Bye. Okay. Now, apologies about that, callers, because I know a number of you have held on for quite some time. And I just really wanted to go through that experience with Donna because I know it relates to so many of the listeners and my audience on Facebook Live because, you know, there's not many of us that don't suffer limitations in our life from money, whether that's real or perceived. Well, if it's perceived, it's real to us anyway. But, you know, technically, there are no limitations. So we can have anything that we want in this life. Our soul is, pure positive light, and therefore, you know, we are multi-millionaires. We're wealthy within. So it's just for understanding the truth in that, and then letting that be realized external to yourself. Okay, sorry. Next caller is 13 ending in 1311. Good morning. Welcome to Soul Space Radio. I'm so sorry for the wait.
Oh, hello. My name is Donna. Thank you for taking my call.
Not a problem, Donna. There's lots of Donnas today. This is fantastic. Lovely. How can I help?
Yes, I was wondering, do you see me, having my, I was wanting to make a move, to the mountain. Look, it's two questions in one. I don't know, but do you see me being in a happy relationship with this man I've been dating for like 8 years now? It's been off and on and not knowing where it's going yet.
Okay, so and you've been in this relationship for 8 years?
Yes, it's been off and on. He was going through stuff. He goes away. He's in the Army Reserves, and then I was going through something, and I was standoffish. We've been going through, you know, through a lot of different times.
Yeah.
But when he comes back from Army duty, I think this week, it's either going to go somewhere or not, because, you know, I mean, I do love him and want a happy life, but he has to want that too. And
Okay, Donna, look, I really appreciate that. And first of all, can I just say thank you so much to the to military men, past and future, who support us in terms of keeping our democratic rights and the fact that we can all, you know, get up in the morning in a free society. So I thank your partner very much for his duty, and as I do all military personnel. I don't, you know, I don't envy their job. So, so that's so blessings to him. The second thing is, okay, now, let me talk about relationships. So just really practically, Donna, just practically, from a practical point of view, you've been 8 years together. So you have some longevity in this relationship. And it sounds like you've had one or the other have had certain issues at certain times and have pulled back from the relationship. But you said that you loved him. And so that's a very good sign. But you've got to the point now where I think you'll make and break. So I think you want some solidity around this relationship. You want some commitments and perhaps living together, and a very, you know, a very sort of, I mean, it doesn't have to be marriage, I guess, but you just want to solidify the relationship between you and him. So, can I just ask you to close?
Yes, a happy one, because it's been up and down. So, you know, I was just wondering if we saw being a happy relationship.
Yeah, no, okay. Okay, so Donna, I just want to do something with you, if you don't mind. It's a bit of fun.
I don't mind.
It's a bit of fun. What I'd like you to do is close your eyes for me. And I'd like you to imagine that. What's his name? Oh, are we allowed to? Are you happy to tell me his name?
Oh yeah, sure. Sure.
Yep.
His name's Aragon.
Aragon. Beautiful.
Argin.
Oh wow, what a beautiful name. Okay, Aragon. So imagine he's in front of you, and I just want you. He's not saying anything. He's just in front of you. And I just want you to feel what you would feel for him normally, and feel that in your heart, and tell me when you just feel full of love for him. So just let me know when you've kind of, the feelings that you would normally feel when he's in front of you. If you could just let me know when you've kind of got them within your heart area, and I'll ask you some questions.
Okay.
Okay. So so the first thing is, are you happy? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see that you will be together for a long time? Yes or no? Just off the top of your head.
Do I feel, no, I'm feeling like, is he feeling the same way am I feeling? Or is he going to be
Okay, thank you.
going through something tomorrow?
Okay, thank you. Okay, no, that's given me a lot of clarity. That's really good, Donna. That's given me, you've actually said more than you knew that you said then, if you know what I mean. Okay, and then the next thing I want you to do is I'd like you to describe that, the way that you feel about him. Can you describe that for me? How do you feel about him? Like, I know it's love, but can you describe that in more detail for me? How does it feel? Do you feel warm and nurtured, and it feels light, and you're happy, and how does that feeling feel?
It feels good. It's hard to explain, because sometimes it doesn't. Oh God, it's hard to explain. I never know if tomorrow he's gonna be around for a while, or just doing his own thing and then call me. Yeah, I'm picking up, or he's gonna be away for a while and then not call me for about 5 days and 6 days or whatever.
Okay. So, thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that, Donna. So it's given me a couple of insights. So the first insight is that yes, you do love him, obviously, very much, but you're standoffish because you have opened your heart to him, and he's not committing to you, and therefore what you're doing is you've opened your heart, but you've also got your walls up. So you're not really letting yourself have that 100% feeling of love, because you don't want to get hurt. And that's completely understandable. A lot of us do that. And a lot of us that come out of repeated bad relationships usually have significant walls up. So you're protecting yourself. So that's really understandable. Now, so you're in love, but it's almost it's not unconditional. Do you know what I mean? So let me talk about him. So is he seen active duty or not?
No, he's in the reserves.
Okay.
He's just away for a month.
Okay.
And he'll be back probably next week.
Okay, the only reason I asked that question is that, obviously if he was a veteran of active duty, they can have some experiences where, like I'm trying to ascertain why he's pulling back. So, if he's not communicating for 5 to 6 days, I'm not talking to his soul, so I can't really get a feeling as to why he's doing that. He's obviously evasive for whatever reason. Is he technically a loner type personality, or does he go, and is he kind of a man's man and he needs to be with his boys, or what sort of what does he say when he disappears for 5 to 6 days? What does he say to you?
He's working. You see what it's about? he pushed because of all we've been through. I don't know if it's it's so hard to explain. He pushes back, I push forward. He pushes forward towards me, and then I push back because of him pushing me away. And so then I push back because I feel like he's going to push back again. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're almost. Do you know what? Are you two quite similar? Quite similar personalities.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. So, in some ways, you're kind of kindred spirits that are kind of working against each other rather than together. Do you know what? Like, Donna, in all honesty, it's actually got it sounds really bizarre, but it's actually got the foundation of a really good relationship. Because, you both demonstrated your commitment, because at certain times you've both pulled back and you've both moved forward. It's just at different times. You're also, so you've been doing that for 8 years. You're in a bit of a cycle, you're in a bit of a pattern, it's habitual. And so you need to get out of that. There's a lot of, I'm assuming that both of you have had previous relationships, because it sounds to me like there's a lot of protection going on here. We gain play when we felt hurt before.
Yes, we were both in a relationship before. He was married, I was married, yes.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you both come from a married state, with marriage being a committed relationship. So both of you are dancing around that commitment. And maybe it's just a case of going to dinner and redefining what committed actually means to you, because it doesn't necessarily mean that the person is living with you or that the person is with you every second of the day. That's not really committed. Committed is unconditional love, so that when the other partner walks out of the house in the morning, they just feel loved. That's it. It's really, really simple. You don't even need to be in the same place together, nor in the same country, to have that experience of what love really is about. And people can be married and it can be completely toxic. Actually talking it through is probably a really good start. So I know I would do that on a practical advice. I would do that in neutral territory, like I would go out to a restaurant, because obviously you've got to the point that you're at ultimatum stage. So I would go to a restaurant and say, look, Ergen, this is not, both of us need to make a commitment from this point forward. Otherwise, unfortunately, it's what I need. And if you love me, I think it's what you need too. We work together as a team, and you compromise on that perspective. I think love is about supporting and guiding someone to the point, though, that then if they're not going to change, you have to make a decision to honour yourself first. So that's just a practical point. Now you can go out and, if he's open to it, you can get counselling in terms of previous experiences, because you've both come from, marriages that didn't work, and that sets a foundation. Unless those feelings have been sorted out, that's why you're in this pattern, this gridlock pattern. But I wouldn't walk away from an 8-year relationship. That's just me personally. I think in this day and age, people are walking away from relationships left, right, and centre. But it's actually about, if you truly love someone, you support them to be the best person they can possibly be, and you provide guidance. It's up to them at the end of the day, but you guide and support them. And then if it's not going to work out, you have to make a decision to honour yourself. If it's not making you happy anymore, you have to leave that situation if the person's not willing to change. But this guy sounds like he kind of is willing to change, because in the past he's been moving forward. And look, I'm sure if you just had the same conversation with him that you're having with me now, he'd probably go, oh yeah, well you're kind of dancing. That's what you are. One in, one out. You're dancing because you've both been hurt previously. So you practically can either do counselling to resolve that, or you can just sit and reframe what commitment is and take it outside of marriage. So commitment being just simply loving each other and being there for each other, and telling each other where you're going to be and all of those sorts of things. and having your phone on when you go out, you know, all of those sorts of sensible things. So that's the practical point of view. In terms of intuitive guidance, it's all about the way that you feel. So you're kind of undecided at the moment, but you know what? You have to sometimes make yourself vulnerable too, because you can't predetermine that your relationship's going to be the same as it was before. Do you know what I mean? You can't. You can't. I'm a true believer that it's better to have loved. It's better to have loved and lost than never have loved at all. That's my belief, because love is just. It is the number one universal principle, and we're aligned with that. It's a beautiful, love is the most miraculous, God-given emotion and energy that we can possibly have. It's so high vibrational. So, you know, but it must be on the way that you feel. Do you think that the feelings that you have in terms of some, you know, you commit and sometimes you don't want to commit, sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. Do you think those feelings are based on past experiences, or do those feelings, those uncertain feelings, are they something to do with him in particular? Because there's quite a distinct difference there.
I think it's probably, your phone is going in and out a lot, like I'm hearing like it's like you're underwater or something.
Oh, sorry.
I've been picking up bits and pieces.
Sorry.
But yeah, I heard. That's okay. I heard you. So I heard the part. What was the last part again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. So Donna,
was really bad.
that's all right, Donna. Can you hear me a bit better now? Does that sound a bit better?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, it's probably because I'm in Australia. It's probably just bad connection, internet connection. Okay, so what I'm suggesting is can you let me know whether you feel, do you feel that your uncertainty is from previous relationships, or is your uncertainty about him in particular? The way that you feel, how you feel uncertain, is it previous relationships or is it him in particular?
It's him in particular. Yes. And I think he might be the same way. I don't know. He's very, very stubborn. And for a while there, at the time he really needed me. He was moving and stuff like that. And I emotionally wasn't there because I was going through something myself, with my husband that left her, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I had backed up kind of, but yet then he's going through something, and he had done something. He had went to his country, came back, and was supposed to marry someone. I don't know if it was just to bring her over here, but that was all in the past, and I was bringing it up again. And I keep thinking, you know, that way, but you know, that's fine. I forgave and everything was fine. But then when I couldn't be there with him, it's a different story. You know, I told him I was sorry, but why can't he forgive me? So that's why it's like a push and pull kind of thing. We were going through things at different times.
Yeah, well, maybe you guys just can't do it by yourselves. Maybe it's the time to get, if you're really invested in this relationship, maybe it's time to get professionals involved. I'll leave that with you, but what I'm going to do now, just really quickly, Donna, if you can just, we'll just relax you again, breathe white light through your crown chakra, out through your heart 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, and keep with your eyes closed. Just go to your favorite place, and you're so relaxed, Donna. It's a lovely day, and all of those feelings are drifting away. All that day-to-day rubbish has drifted off you, and you're in your favorite place, and you're sitting in your favorite place, and you're nice and comfortable and so relaxed. And I'm just going to count. I'll count from 10 backwards this time. So 10, 9, 8,
9,
8, 7,
7,
6,
6,
5, 4,
5,
4,
4,
3, 2, 1. Okay, now with eyes closed, what we're going to do is we're going to do a time jump. We're going to be in your favorite position still, but we're going to be 6 months in the future. So all those worries and that have gone, and you're really relaxed. You feel really, really good. You're in a safe, beautiful place. And so let's jump to the future. So now we're in February 2019, okay? And I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you, there's no right or wrong, and I just want you to answer the questions straight off the top of your head, because we're tapping into intuitive guidance here. Okay, so Donna, the first question I want to ask you is, are you with Ergen, yes or no?
yes,
Aha. Are you in a committed relationship, yes or no?
yes,
Did you go to counseling, yes or no?
no,
Are you happy, yes or no?
yes,
Is it going to last for a long time, this relationship, yes or no?
yes.
Okay. Okay, well, Donna, that's all the questions that I have. Let's go back to today. We can come back to today, and you're in your favorite place, and just quietly relax there. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, and we'll talk about what happened. So your eyes are open?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so what we did is we effectively bypassed the mind. We went into mind, heart, centric space, mind, heart, soul, body, mind, soul. And we answered the questions intuitively, because your soul knows all, right? Because it's individualized divine. It already knows everything. There's no space-time continuum for your soul. It's infinite. So it's interesting. Some questions were asked, and the questions are that you will be in a relationship with your partner in 6 months' time. You're very happy, and that the relationship's going to last a long time, but you didn't do counselling. Maybe we should have done that in the beginning, and then we would have talked about the counselling aspect. So that will provide you with the foundation of faith, because we know the truth within ourselves. So I don't know how. I'm not intuitively guided. I think that you've got to the point where you want to make a change. And sometimes that is the hardest point to come to. You are willing to lose it, to lose what you have, to progress further. And sometimes we have to get to that space. So you've got to that space, you have an intention that you want the relationship to last, you have an intention that you love this guy and that you want the relationship to continue. So obviously you move forward on that premise. And so, do what it takes to let him know what you want and see what happens.
Yes, but I wanted to explain that was hard to answer, because I'm feeling like I'm not going to have it any other way. If it doesn't, I'm going to tell him all that I want, like, without being demanding. And if he don't feel the same way, or if I don't feel the way it's supposed to feel, I'm ready to walk away.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if that's what you feel, yeah.
Is that what you meant when you said I was ready for a change?
That's it. Yes, that is what I meant. Yes, you've made a decision.
Yeah, so I did say yes, because I guess I'm hoping, I don't know, but if not, I'm ready to walk away, because I'm going to put it straight, because it's not that it's just him being stubborn, or he doesn't want what I want, because
yeah.
He's going to know how I feel, and he's going to feel it, and
you've been really,
If it return, I'm walking away.
Yeah, so you've set an intention. But your soul indicates that you're still in a relationship with him. And I wanted you to know that. So, but you've made a decision and you're going to call it. So, there you go. You've got some faith and the outcome will be positive. But if you feel that you have to walk away from the situation, you do that. But your soul has indicated that you'll continue on in a relationship. The fact that you put an intention out there that you're ready to call this relationship because it's no longer supporting your needs and your feelings, you've put yourself first, and the universe will come through and support you in that. Whether it's because you've changed your vibration, you've changed your consciousness by doing so, and you're energizing that intention because you're actually taking a step out in faith to actually have this conversation with him. So if it's not him, it'll be someone better. I shouldn't say better. It'll be someone else who's on that same frequency. So you've set an intention, you're co-creating with Source, and off you go. Watch it all fall into place. Beautiful.
Oh, okay. So do you see this happening? Like if I have to walk away, do you see me being in a relationship with someone?
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it because look, you're so full of love, Donna. Right? You've spent 8 years loving somebody. You're full of love. And you're prepared to go through stuff that some people would never have gone through. They would have just walked away anyway. So, you're committed to the love principle. You're committed to love. You're a very romantic person. If you energize love, right? If you're coming from a space of love, the universe has to match that. If it's not him, if you make an intention that you want to have love and you want to have it on these terms, if it's not him, it will be someone else. But what's interesting is you'll stop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, but it's interesting that your soul is stating that it's him. But if it's not him, it will be someone else because you're changing your vibrational frequency. You're changing your consciousness because you've set an intention. It's not even just about him. It's actually about you because what you've done in setting that intention to say enough's enough and this is what I want as a committed love relationship, what you're saying is actually I'm worthy of that. Do you see what I mean? So it actually is a lot about not just romantic love but about self-worth, which is self-love. So you're in the flow.
Oh, okay. I just realized that about myself. Thank you for that.
Not a problem.
Because I'm ready and it will happen so fast. I mean, his head will spin if I'm not getting what I want right away. He's going to know how I feel.
Absolutely.
And if he's going to be the stubborn yo-yo stuff, I don't want to know more.
That's exactly it because you are loving yourself and you're putting a love intention out there. You're aligned with the universe. The universe is going to back you up because it's expansive energy. It's not contracted. It's all about love. Congratulations on realizing your self-worth because some people will spend a lifetime and never do the same thing, Donna.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Not a problem. Blessings to you. You have a lovely evening.
Okay, thank you. And you too, and I will let you know what happens.
Oh, I can't wait. Thank you so much, Donna. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. Okay, sorry. Time for one more call. 6016. Good morning, Soul Space Radio. Good morning. Good evening. Good evening, Soul Space Radio. Shay speaking. Hello. 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 Caller 6016. Okay, I might just have to end it there. Sorry, caller, I don't know if you're still on the line. So we'll just end that one. We'll go to the next caller. Goodness me, a number 1111. Wow, okay. I don't know if I've seen that number before, but anyway. Good evening. Welcome to Soul Space Radio. Shay speaking. How can I help?
Hey Shay, how are you today?
I am good. You have got the most amazing voice. I can feel your joy. It's beautiful. You're very effervescent. Yeah, you're very effervescent. So I can feel it bubbling in you. It's wonderful. Who am I speaking to?
Okay, you are speaking with Tisha?
Tisha.
Yes.
Beautiful. How can I help, Tisha?
You know what? I'm not even sure. I was listening to your show. I passed by your Blog Talk radio page. So I wanted to call in. Yeah, I'm not sure what I should talk about.
Anything.
Yes. Okay, my energy is on a good path, I believe. I see some people coming around me that are negative. So wanted to see if you pick up on anything on negativity people and how to prevent them to stay away.
Okay, that's a really good question, Tisha. And I can tell that your energy is really high, by the way, because it's in your voice and in your pitch. You're effusing it. You're effusing it so much that I can actually, it's palatable. So let me talk to you about, practically. Let's talk about what's happening when we have people coming around us that are at a lower vibration, so we say, which is negative, but at a lower vibration, their consciousness is. So the first thing I'd say is that it is true that the world is a mirror. So we reflect those aspects of ourselves in our relationships, okay? But I wouldn't spend my life going, what if you don't want to overanalyze life, because if you overanalyze, you're going into the logic mind and you're going right outside intuitive creativity. So it needs to be a balance, but you should lead with your intuitive, because your intuitive side connects to source. And it's co-creating. You must co-create, yeah?
Yes.
So we never sit there and go, we never analyze and go, why is that coming to me? And what is that reflecting in me? I mean, you can do that, but you don't focus on it. What we do is we focus on what we want. So we can make statements like, for example, we could affirm, I only see you expressing to all the people in my life as positive, supportive, kind, inspirational, empowering, and that's all I see expressing. So you could make statements like that. Yeah. You could see the people that have negative energy. You could see them in your heart, and you could give them a whole lot of love light. You could see them, visualize them in front of you, and you could see that energy changing. You could say, I see you as a beautiful person. And you could hug them, and you could send them energy. There's lots of different things that you can do, and that will alleviate that negative influence. So there's lots of things that you can do with that negative energy.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So you strike me as quite a spiritual...
90 seconds.
Oh, sorry, we've only got a little bit of time left. You strike me as a very positive person, so
Okay.
I think you would be great at sending. You can either send light energy, or you can send positive feelings and heart energy, or you can just simply affirm that you see positive people around you. Now, what was the second question?
Okay.
What was the second question? Tisha, sorry.
Okay, so I do see myself in the future.
60 seconds.
It seems like possibly we could have a future together. I think of other energy of other people, but they're not good. They're not good. But there's this one gentleman. He has a very subtle energy. He's very well established, I can see. I don't know when we're going to meet, but just wanted to see if you pick up any energy on that, and if you do, what type of advice do you have to make this relationship work?
Okay, so hang on. When you say you've met him, though, haven't you? Oh. Whoops, we've lost connection. Are you, hang on. Okay. Are you there, Tisha? Let me see if I can get connection again. Nope, not the one. Okay, well, unfortunately, Tisha, it seems, I don't know if you can actually hear me, but it seems that we've lost complete connection. I would absolutely, we finished the show, but I'd absolutely love if you would like to, yeah, Tisha's dropped. So Tisha, I don't know if you've seen the Facebook page, but I would love if you'd like to connect either on Facebook or come into the show next week, and we will we'll look forward to talking to you in more detail about that. Or you can send an email to soulspaceradio@bigpond.com. No, is that soulspaceradio@bigpond.com? It is. And that's bigpond, BIGPOND.com. And I can answer your question from that space. But that's a really good question again, Tessa. Everyone wants to know, but everyone wants to know about energy. But you've actually said that, sorry, about relationships, but you've actually come at an angle from an energy perspective, which is really great because it suggests to me that you know a lot about energy. And there are people that are particularly empathetic, empaths who feel the way that other people are feeling. So they reflect that. So it'd be really interesting to have you on board and talk a little bit more about what that feels like, and because I know there'd be a raft of listeners who would be really interested in that space. So do come back, and come back, all of you. I'm sorry I didn't answer more questions. It's kind of, there were some really in-depth ones there. And the money one, I think, was so central. The first donor, the money was really a central question to all of us in terms of, you know, money and feeling that we have money now. And, you know, knowing that we're bigger than the picture, we're bigger than money. Money doesn't define who we are as a person. And the second honor about relationships, and relationships is another key one. And predominantly about self-value, self-worth, and loving yourself. And, you know, if you can love yourself, it's got to come it's got to be reflected back to you. So, some beautiful sessions. On that note, it's time for me to end the show. And thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks for joining. Love you lots. Bye.